Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 2 is a really fun and entertaining ride. With that said, there is quite a lot of the film that doesn't really feel like Crisis. That can be said for the first half of it. There are scenes thrown in for additional effect, and some key moments in Crisis are slightly altered for entertainment and to fit with this version of the story. Of course, you can't expect it to be exactly the same, but considering there are only 3 parts to tell this iconic story, it feels like wasted space sometimes. With that, we do get some excellent insight into Psycho Pirate and who he is. There will be some who aren't familiar with him and his powers, and this was a great and rather dark origin story and introduction to him. It's safe to say that the film have exaggerated his backstory from the comic series, but it's a very welcome one that adds a lot of layers to the character. What I do like about these films is that they really spend time introducing and making you care about a character. Personally, whilst I love the comics, I found that unless you're really familiar with them before reading, you aren't too attached to the characters. Not to mention that some of the character roles have changed from comics to film, and it really makes this story different to the one we know and love, but that's not a bad thing. Despite the lengthy explanation of plans and what's going on, which is needed for such a complex story arc, there are great stints of action where heroes and villains fight each other and eat the shadows, and I have to say that I love this animation style for it. It suits it so well, and the score is used perfectly within the scenes to build on the viewer's reaction. This adaptation really shows a focus on Supergirl too, which I really enjoyed. Her innocence and her goodness are really challenged here as we're reminded what she has gone through and where she is now. The main changes to her story arc is where she's placed in the film and also her character role and the actions that she does, which are quite significant. I won't spoil as to what, but there are some significant changes which really add emotional effect. Towards the end of the film, we get a taste of what's to come as our heroes take on the Anti-Monitor for the first time. And that is enough to get me pumped for the final instalment of this film series. It's going to be an all-out, action-packed, emotional rollercoaster, and I cannot wait.